Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is getting sacked. Manchester United lost to Manchester City today 2-0 at Old Trafford. After the game, Solskjaer did admit that Man United were outclassed by Man City, and Solskjaer also mentioned that the defeat to Manchester City is a step backwards. I think if Solskjaer really cared about the club, he would resign. But I can't see Solskjaer resigning. Manchester United must pay Solskjaer £7.5 million if they decide to sack him, because in the summer Solskjaer signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There's an option of a further year. Manchester United certainly made a mistake giving Solskjaer that contract. Solskjaer should have been sacked after the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool a couple of weeks ago. But obviously, after that game, he said obviously Solskjaer had been given 3 games to save his job. He's only won 1 of them 3 games. Obviously beat Tottenham last weekend 3-0. Drew with Atalanta 2-2 in the Champions League. And obviously lost to Manchester City today 2-0. Surely it's the end of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Manchester United. Manchester United are now looking for a replacement for Solskjaer. Who should come in? I'd certainly take Zinedine Zidane at Manchester United. You know, I think Zinedine Zidane would be capable of winning trophies at Man United. He'd get us back to that level where we should be at. And he would suit the strappings of the club. And Zidane is a far superior manager to Solskjaer. Zidane is available because he left Real Madrid in the summer. Zidane has got a very good pedigree behind him because he's won a lot of trophies when he was Real Madrid manager. It would be good to see Zinedine Zidane come and experience the Premier League. Manchester United have held talks with Zinedine Zidane. Reports from Spain have already said that Zidane rejected the Newcastle job as he's waiting for the Man United or France job. Reports from Spain did say earlier on this season that Zidane is not interested in becoming Manchester United manager if Solskjaer gets sacked. It did mention that he's enjoying life away from football management. Erik Ten Hag has also been mentioned. I've got to admire the work he's done at Ajax. I think he'd do well if he came to Manchester United. There's some United fans that want Brendan Rodgers in. Well, not so long ago, Mark Ogden said that Man United have identified Brendan Rodgers as a potential replacement for Solskjaer. Ralf Rangnick's also been mentioned today. And I heard that Roberto Mancini has been mentioned as well. Mancini is the former Man City manager. Mancini won the Premier League when he was Man City manager, and when City won it under Roberto Mancini, it was their first title in 44 years. When Solskjaer gets sacked, he will be the 4th permanent manager to be sacked since Ferguson, because Man United have already sacked 3 managers since Ferguson. Sacked David Moyes, sacked Louis van Gaal, and we also sacked Jose Mourinho. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been given long enough at Manchester United. Solskjaer's been in charge of Manchester United for almost 3 years. I don't know how he's still Manchester United manager. Our board have got a soft stance on Ole, with him being a legend of the club. Disregarding him being a legend of the club, I can assure he would have been sacked by now. Solskjaer has no proven pedigree behind him as a manager. Obviously, before Man United, he was at Molde. He endured 2 spells at Molde. Yeah, he won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not a big club. And before then, he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was absolutely terrible. He only endured a short tenure with Cardiff. The reason he got sacked from Cardiff is because he got them relegated. And Solskjaer's decision making is a concern. Analysing the vast majority of the games he's managed at Man United, he's been tactically naive. He's absolutely clueless, is Solskjaer, like a lot of Man United fans are saying. Doesn't really have a plan A and doesn't really have a plan B. He's out of his depth, simple as that. This season is Solskjaer's 3rd full season as Man United manager. The expectations are far too high for Solskjaer to exceed as Man United manager. And I do think that Solskjaer's in a position that he shouldn't be in. I hate to say this regarding Ole, but I'm just being realistic. We all want Solskjaer to succeed as Manchester United manager, but unfortunately, he's not going to. Now, reflecting on our poor performances and poor results, you can't just put all of the blame on Solskjaer. There's also players as well that have got to take responsibility for those poor performances and poor results. And Solskjaer ran out of excuses a long time ago now, because I was expecting Man United to do well this season, because Man United endured a very good summer transfer window this year. Made 4 signings. Obviously brought Sancho in, Varane, re-signed Ronaldo after 12 years, and obviously brought Tom Heaton in on a free. Man United spent around 141 million in this year's summer transfer window. Plus Solskjaer received very strong backing from the Man United board. John Murtough backed him, Darren Fletcher backed him, Ed Woodward's backed Solskjaer, and the Glazers surprisingly backed Solskjaer. And Manchester United have got a very, very good squad. So, in reality, Man United should be winning the Premier League this season, or at least challenging for the league. But Manchester United are a team of individuals, like a lot of pundits have already mentioned. Manchester United don't actually play as a team. That's one of the biggest problems. You've got the likes of Liverpool, City and Chelsea that all play as a team, and that explains why they're in a much better position than Manchester United at this moment in time. Manchester United have spent over £1 billion since Ferguson retired. So that just proves it, doesn't it? Always spending big doesn't guarantee you success. The way things are going, I can't even see Manchester United finishing in the top 4 this season. And it would be a disaster if we finished out of the top 4 this season. Because obviously if we finish out of the top 4, we won't get qualification for the Champions League for next season. Reflecting on that, that will persuade our star players to go. But it looks like to me that the players have just given up on the manager. Like it said after the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool a couple of weeks ago, and Solskjaer's also losing fans as well. Solskjaer got appointed in as Man United manager back in December 2018. He's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. The reason Solskjaer got the job on a permanent basis back in March 2019 was reflecting how well he did as the interim manager. Ollie knew when he'd taken over at Manchester United it was going to be a massive job and a difficult job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. And he knew he had a lot to do when he came in. And yeah, there is some positives regarding Solskjaer, like I've mentioned to you so many times before. I do think in certain aspects he has brought consistency back, because we have enjoyed good periods under Ollie. Another positive regarding Ollie, he develops the youth well. Solskjaer has made good signings as Manchester United manager. So far, Solskjaer has signed 14 players. In the summer of 2019, Ollie recommended Dan James, Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January 2020, he brought Bruno Fernandes in and Odi Nagalo in on loan. In the summer of 2020, he brought Donny van de Beek in, Alex Telles, Edison Cavani, Amad Diallo and Facundo Pellistri. And like I said, in this year's summer transfer window, he brought Heaton in, Sancho, Varane and re-signed Ronaldo after 12 years. Manchester United have spent over £400 million under Solskjaer. So we should be doing much, much better than we are. Some progress has been made under Solskjaer as well, because obviously Solskjaer's got us to semi-finals. He got us to 3 semi-finals in his first full season. Last season he got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. Last season got us to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. And last season he got us to the Europa League final. And that was his first major final as Man United manager. But unfortunately we didn't win it. So there you go. And last season Ollie got us a second place finish. And in his first full season he got us a third place finish. Ollie's also got rid of a lot of players since he's come in, which he knew he had to do. He's loaned players out and he's got rid of a lot of players permanently. So they are the positives. But Manchester United have not been the same team since Ferguson retired, and a lot of United fans predicted it was all going to go wrong when Ferguson retired, which obviously it has done. No one will replicate what Ferguson did. Ferguson brought success to Manchester United. He won 30-odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles. But Ferg didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. So it does take some managers time to settle in. Ferguson, by the way, backed Solskjaer after the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool. Ferguson was a very long-serving manager as well at Man United. He enjoyed a 27-year managerial tenure. The only mistake Ferguson made was recommending Moyes in when he retired, but the reason he did that is because they're both Scottish, and obviously Ferguson had a lot of time for Moyes. But there is good players at Manchester United. Revert back to what I've said before. It's not like, we've got a poor team. It's just that the team is not performing, that's the difference. But like I say, there's still good players there. Obviously, we've got the best player in the world overall in Cristiano Ronaldo. Obviously, Ronaldo played today against Man City. He was anonymous in the game because Ronaldo wasn't getting hardly any service. Ronaldo did have 2 good chances in the game. His first chance came from volley, produced a good save from Edison, and his second chance produced a good save from Edison, but the second chance he had was offside anyway. Ronaldo saved Solskjaer in the 2-2 draw against Atalanta because Ronaldo scored twice in stoppage time at the end of both halves against Atalanta. Ronaldo scored the winner in the reverse fixture against Atalanta at Old Trafford. Ronaldo also scored the winner against Villarreal earlier on this season. Ronaldo scored a very good volley last weekend in the 3-0 win against Tottenham. Manchester United are relying on Cristiano Ronaldo far too much. Like I updated you yesterday, Cristiano Ronaldo got named Manchester United's Player of the Month for October. So that's back-to-back awards now for Ronaldo, because Ronaldo got named Premier League Player of the Month back in September. Ronaldo has scored 9 goals in all competitions so far since he re-signed. Ronaldo's got a contract with Man United till 2023. There's an option of a further year. Ronaldo receives 480 grand a week, so he's the highest earner at Man United. Ronaldo wears a number 7 shirt, and we got Ronaldo for 19.8 million with add-ons included. And you've got Mason Greenwood, that's also a good player as well. Greenwood was obviously playing alongside Ronaldo today against Man City. It was an average performance by Greenwood today. Greenwood obviously came on in the 2-2 draw against Atalanta. He came on for the injured Rafael Varane. Greenwood got an assist in the 2-2 draw against Atalanta. It was for Ronaldo's second goal was the assist. Greenwood scored a stunning goal in the 4-2 defeat to Leicester earlier on this season. Greenwood's got 4 goals in the league so far this season. At one point though, Greenwood did go a while without scoring. Greenwood made his senior debut for Man United back in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7, and last season, Greenwood signed a new 4-year contract. You've got Sancho, that's a good player as well. But Sancho hasn't enjoyed the best of starts to his Man United career. And reflecting on that, fans have been getting on Sancho's back. I think Solskjaer is to blame for a lot of Sancho's poor performances. Because when Solskjaer decides to play Sancho, he persistently plays him out of position. There's quite a few games though that Sancho doesn't even play in. Sancho didn't start today against Man City, but he did come on in the game, and to his credit, he actually did quite well when he came on. I said Sancho will do well at Man United, providing that he's used correctly. It does take some players time to settle in. Manchester United got Sancho in a deal worth 78 million with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United till June 2026. There's an option of a further year. Marcus Rashford, he's good as well. Rashford obviously came on today against Man City. Didn't do too bad. Rashford's done well in quite a few games since he has come back, but he's also had some poor games as well. Don't forget, at one point, Rashford was out with a shoulder injury for a while, and at one point he had to have an operation on his shoulder. Rashford has been part of the club for a long time. He's been a United player since the age of 7, and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. Rashford's got a contract with Man United until 2023. You've got Edison Cavani, that's also very good as well. Cavani couldn't play today against Man City because Cavani was out with injury. Cavani didn't start in the 2-2 draw against Atalanta, but he did come on as a substitute. Cavani played very well last weekend in the 3-0 win against Tottenham. You know, Cavani scored a very good goal. It was a lovely dink over Hugo Lloris. Should have scored in the first half because he had a very good headed chance that just went wide. Cavani was playing alongside Ronaldo last week, and that was very intriguing. Unfortunately, I think Cavani's going to be leaving Manchester United next year, but I don't want him to leave with the impact he's made since he's come in. Cavani has got under a year left on his Man United contract. It was back in May signed that 1 year contract extension. We got Cavani on a free transfer, don't forget. I think this season is his second full season at Man United. Cavani's got a good pedigree behind him. Look at the amount of silverware he won when he was at PSG, and not only that, he was a long-serving player when he was at PSG. And you've also got Bruno Fernandes. That's a very, very good player as well. But I've got to make an admission regarding Bruno Fernandes. He was absolutely abysmal today against Man City. You know, Fernandes looks lost for ideas. He looks very sloppy on the ball. And I recall him giving the ball away quite a lot of times. And there's been quite a few games now where Fernandes has looked off the pace. But he's been consistent in a lot of games for Man United. Fernandes starts the vast majority of Manchester United's games. Fernandes played well in the 2-2 draw against Atalanta. You know, he got an assist for Ronaldo's first goal. It was a lovely backheel by Fernandes, and Fernandes put a good performance out last weekend against Tottenham. You know, Fernandes played a part in 2 of Man United's goals against Tottenham. You know, he's got a lot of assists, to his name this season. Fernandes has been a Manchester United player for almost 2 years. We got Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020, and last season he won Player of the Year and he's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. Earlier on this season, Fernandes did make it clear that he wants to stay at Manchester United, and when he first came in he said, "I've come to Manchester to win trophies." Fernandes has got a contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further 12 months. He's one of the best signings we've made since Fergie retired. You've got Donny van de Beek, that's also a good player as well, but I haven't really had much of a perception on him at Man United. Revert back to what I've said before, because Donny van de Beek doesn't get given enough game time. And Solskjaer needs to start Van de Beek, especially in the Premier League. Van de Beek didn't start today against Man City, but he came on as a substitute, and to his credit, he did make an impact. Van de Beek also came on as a substitute in the 2-2 draw against Atalanta, and he made an impact when he came on in that game. I think Van de Beek's leaving Man United in January. Prior to the Liverpool game, Solskjaer did admit that Van de Beek is frustrated and disappointed over his situation at Old Trafford, and earlier on this season, Van de Beek was furious with Solskjaer. Van de Beek's endured what a difficult 19 months or so at Man United. This season is his second full season at Man United. We got Van de Beek in a deal worth 40 million with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year, and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Paul Pogba, he's also a good player as well. Not only a good player, he's an imperative player as well. Obviously, Pogba didn't play today against City because he's suspended. Pogba's now got 1 game to serve out of the 3-match ban he got. Pogba did play in the 2-2 draw against Atalanta, and Pogba was very poor against Atalanta. You know, he was sloppy on the ball, and he made too many errors, and reflecting on that, he got heavily criticised. Looks like Paul Pogba's leaving Man United next summer anyway, because it's already mentioned that Pogba wants out and Pogba's refused to sign the new contract. Mark Ogden said the other week that Man United are prepared to let Pogba leave on a free transfer next summer after accepting that the midfielder will not sign a contract. Well, after the Liverpool game, it did mention that Pogba snubbed Solskjaer after Liverpool defeat, and reflecting on that, contract talks were put on hold. Pogba's current contract at Man United expires next summer. Before the start of this season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract offer. You've got Luke Shaw, decent left back overall, but Luke Shaw has been absolutely abysmal so far this season. Obviously, Luke Shaw played today in the defeat to Man City. He was poor. He was the culprit for Manchester City's second goal by Bernardo Silva. De Gea was also to blame as well. He was partly to blame. But the main culprit was Luke Shaw. Where's the Luke Shaw from last season? Because last season Luke Shaw was superb. Got to give him credit. He was far superior last season to how he has been so far this season. Luke Shaw's been a long-serving player at Man United. He's been at the club now for like 7.5 years. And I do think he's had a decent career, despite the injuries he's had and that. Luke Shaw, by the way, went off injured today against Man City. Obviously got replaced by Telles. Luke Shaw's been our first choice left back for a while, and he still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Telles. Telles, I think he's a good left back. Like I said, he came on today against City. Could have conceded a penalty. He just got the ball. Telles has done well though in a few games he's played in for Man United, but I do think he's leaving Man United next year. Don't forget Telles was out with injury earlier on this season. The reason we brought Telles in was to provide competition for Shaw. We got Telles for 15.4 million from Porto last year. Telles will only play when Luke Shaw's not available. And now he might get his chances after the international break with Luke Shaw injured. It depends how severe Luke Shaw's injury is though. And then you've got Eric Bailly. That's a good centre-half, but like I mentioned on the match reaction today, Bailly was horrendous against Manchester City today. Obviously, Man City's first goal came from an own goal by Eric Bailly. But not only the own goal, his overall performance was atrocious. And I'm surprised by that in that aspect. Because, Bailly put a very good performance out in the 2-2 draw against Atalanta. He made some good blocks and some good interventions. He also played well against West Ham in the Carabao Cup earlier on this season. I think that game today against Man City was Eric Bailly's third appearance so far this season. I do think Bailly's leaving Man United next year because he lost his place in the team a while ago, obviously with the signing of Varane in the summer transfer window, and for some reason Solskjaer seems to prefer Lindelof ahead of Eric Bailly. My only element of concern about Bailly is injury prone, so in that aspect he's a liability. Towards the end of last season he signed a new contract with Man United till 2024. There's an option of a further year. Bailly's been at Man United for like 5.5 years now. Got him from Villarreal back in 2016 for 30 million. You've got Raphael Varane, that's a very good centre-half. Obviously, he didn't play any part today against Man City. Varane is out with a hamstring injury for up to a month. He was a miss today. but it's no excuse for the bad performance we put out. Varane come back from a groin injury not so long ago, and he was out with that groin injury for a few weeks, wasn't he? Varane actually made his return in the 3-0 win against Tottenham last week, and to be fair, he put a good performance out in that game. We got Varane in a deal worth 41 million with add-ons included. Paid like 34 million up front. Varane's got a contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year. Varane to Man United was official just before kick-off against Leeds, which was the opening day. But Varane's highly experienced, and he is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. Harry Maguire, he can be a good centre-half when he wants to be, but Maguire's been very, very poor this season, and he has been poor since he come back from that calf injury. Maguire's best game this season was the game against Tottenham last weekend, despite Maguire getting booked in that game. We overpaid for Maguire, got him in a deal worth 80 million, so he's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the second most expensive signing at the club behind Pogba. You've got Wan-Bissaka, that's a good right-back as well. Unfortunately, though, he was poor today against City. It's a shame, really, because in recent weeks he's been in scintillating form. I thought Bissaka played well against Atalanta not so long ago, and he played well in the 3-0 win against Tottenham last weekend. He's enjoyed other good games this season. But there's certainly aspects of Wan-Bissaka's game that's got to improve. He's got to get forward a lot more. His positioning's got to improve. Maybe his crossing's got to improve a bit more. So there you go. But despite that, he's still one of the best right-backs we've had since Gary Neville. And you've got De Gea, that's a very good goalkeeper. De Gea saved Manchester United from a humiliation against City. De Gea made 4 good saves in the first half. He denied Cancelo twice, he denied De Bruyne, and he also denied Gabriel Jesus. And he also made a good save from that mistake by Lindelof. Lindelof nearly scored an own goal. And Dean Henderson's also a good goalkeeper as well, but Dean Henderson wants a loan move away from Man United next year because Dean Henderson's not going to get his opportunities, is he? Because De Gea reclaimed the number 1 spot back. Henderson's only been in goal for 1 game so far this season, that was West Ham in the Cup. At one point, Dean Henderson was out with COVID for a while. So there you go. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.